Hello,
What is
everybody.
up? What is up, Loki?
How you doing, Carhole?
Not too bad, man. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Oh,
What we got down here? We got J.R. Colts and Spencer, Victoria, Ladies Sky TV, Rex, Jeffrey, Jamie. Welcome.
oh, good to see everybody here. Oh, I definitely appreciate y'all coming around.
We're gonna do a little bit of a pullback from last week. It's what we're talking about today will be people are considered conspiracy theorists that do what we're going to do, but I think it's something that everybody should have.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah. So
Let's say, but long on the short of it, we're going to kind of discuss go bags, emergency bags that you have packed and ready to take with you at a moment's notice to, just in case. Might not ever get used, but it's a very handy thing to keep on hand.
and as we were preparing for this, Loki and I both realized that we have pillaged our go bags over the last couple of years, and we need to restock our go bags. But nonetheless, it's still a good. J.R. Cole, I knew this would be a topic that you would be ready for. So
we actually
and then
Colt.
Yeah, I knew for a fact you'd have one. I have two, and I need to prepare another one for my son, and I need to fix mine and go through it. But
oh man,
hey, Mariah, welcome.
Mariah. Oh, excuse me.
And then also too, depending on where you are in the country, your go bag will be slightly different than somewhere else. Like what I'll need in my go bag will be slightly different than what Loki will need in his.
Yeah, I say I'm in a much more wild terrain, and I have pretty good survival skills. So my go bag for where I'm at is actually pretty lightweight. I say it just depends on which way I go from my house as to what I actually need to take with me.
Right.
I say if options are open, I'm heading into the mountains. So I don't need a whole lot to get by up there other than, maybe a few days of extra food just in case. Knives, other weapons, paracord, tarp, extra clothes, etc., stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't forget that. Can't forget your 2A, but we can't really talk about that too much.
yeah.
But there's definitely a 2A somewhere in and around my go bag.
I generally try to keep them with me as well.
Oh,
That's actually a very good thing right there, Janie.
yep.
Especially if they're not heirloom style. Well, I forget which it is now. I say one type of seed does not. I say most seeds that you get in the stores these days are a one-time thing. If you grow plants from something, usually you have to take down the crop, etc., and start over with seeds again the next year. I say, but if you get heirloom style seeds, you can pull the seeds out of your fruits and vegetables or whatever it is you're growing and use those for your next year's grow.
Yeah, and to be clear too, like for my emergency go bag, I wouldn't carry that stuff, but I do in my preparations. I do have several years supply of seeds, and different things like that. But for my oh shit, things are going on, I got to get out of here bag. I don't have, I personally don't carry seeds in that.
Um, Generally, I don't either, but I do have a small bag if I've got the extra or spare weight in my bag, and I know it's going to be a long term thing. That's something I'll grab and stuff in real quick.
Yeah. Do you want to throw up just the visual of what a go bag might look like?
Sure. Where'd that go? Okay,
It's
here's the
kind of
basic
a,
idea.
now
I
they're
say,
very, very individual to people, but yeah.
yeah. Um, I say, but there's a lot of stuff here people generally don't think about, uh, like first aid stuff. Uh, you can a deep scratch can be as dangerous as a broken bone out in the woods. So, if you don't know how to treat it with natural medicines, be sure to pack some bandages and some antibiotics. Even like Neosporin or something like that is better than nothing.
Hey, Jennifer, welcome.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yeah. And I mean, there's things on this list that I wouldn't necessarily carry in my go bag, but I can see why some people would.
Exactly. Well, and that gets back to the where are you in the world type thing. If you're in an urban environment, you might need a whole lot more stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
if you're out in the woods, well, as long as your survival skills are good, you might not need as much. If those survival skills are lacking, you're going to need a whole lot more. Hey, Jay.
Yeah. What's up, Jay? That would be a very interesting show, Jamie. I would definitely support seeing that.
Oh yeah, and Artemis actually knows far more than I do on the herb lore. Uh, I'm hoping to actually get something like that going with her at some point. I said we've discussed it lightly, but nothing in depth. It's been mentioned though.
So there's a video that I did a couple years ago with one of my friends on like a go bag. Hey Seth. And one of the things that I use for myself is a phrase two is one is none. And what I mean by that, if I have, say, like my only source to start a fire is a lighter, well, if my bag gets wet, that lighter is useless. So I need to have a couple different methods to create that same thing. So like for fire starting stuff, I carry a flint, I have a lighter, I have matches, and then also I usually have some batteries and aluminum foil. So I have a couple different ways that I can start fires
Hmm.
if one or two of them fail.
Yeah, I say, and personally, I know how to start fires with basically nothing. Give me a couple of sticks, and I can get a fire going. But I do pack a lighter with me. I do have waterproof matches. Well, matches that I have waterproofed myself. Uh, which, if people don't know, hey Lori, if people
Hey,
don't know,
Lori.
it's very easy to waterproof matches. Just go get you some stick matches and a candle. Get the candle going, lay your matches out, dip them in the wax, and then put them in a waterproof container once they dry.
Yep. I actually do the same thing with mine. I dip like half of the match into like a candle wax,
Yep.
and then store them that way. So they're waterproof pretty much.
I say now one thing which most people might find a little odd that I do put in uh, my go bag is dryer lint. Hey, Susie Q. Uh, Dryer lint is amazingly flammable. Uh, Even like if you're using one of those strikers to start the fire, the slightest spark hits that stuff and you've got fire.
Thank
So
you.
it's a handy thing to have, and it takes up literally almost no room or weight in the bag.
It's funny you say that because I have fucking dryer lint in mine as well. that is one thing that we both have in ours.
That's funny.
That is funny. So J.R. Cole, I do have a magnesium. I have one of those 550 cord bracelets, and the clip has a flint on it with magnesium. So I can, like I said, I do carry a flint with me, so the magnesium can be shaved off of my 550 cord bracelet.
Yeah.
Now I don't wear that bracelet in my day to day life. Welcome to Dude. Not much, man. We're just talking about go bags. We're still kind of just getting into it.
Yeah, we're just getting rolling with this one, dude. So you didn't miss a whole lot.
We appreciate you coming, but yeah, I do carry a flint with magnesium. I didn't think to ever just shave off, like do the magnesium shavings prior. That's not actually a bad idea.
Well, I mean, there's two schools of looking at that. One, it is handy to have. Two, having the striker that you can scrape the magnesium off of, or just a magnesium block that you can scrape, saves on a little bit of space, I would think.
Yeah.
I say, let's see. Let's say other basics that I think you should have in any go bag would be some pouched or bottled water. Definitely some other method of purifying water, and like Mike says, at least two methods of purifying water. So, like, well, for me, I have like iodine tablets, which have other uses as well. Most people don't know, but iodine tablets will actually help with radiation sickness in case that's the emergency that you're dealing with.
Like in this schematic, they have a life straw, which is good.
Yeah.
I can't quite tell. I imagine there's something else in here too for water. There's a lot of packets at the bottom.
Yeah, they have water packets, life straw. I think I see iodine. I thought I saw iodine tablets in there someplace, but yeah.
You can also carry a very small amount of bleach too. Bleach will cleanse the water as well, but you have to cleanse like a pretty sizable amount of water for just a couple of drops of bleach.
Yeah.
And then you gotta wait a while. So like, it's not one that I would necessarily rely on. That would be like a last resort type of thing.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with the iodine tablets. You put one into your water or part of one, and you have to wait for at least an hour, I believe it is, with the iodine. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I say, but things like paracord. Paracord is handy for everything. You can tie extra stuff off to your pack that you find that you might need. You can secure your lean-to or campsite a little bit better. You can use it to make tripwires. You can use it to make snares and traps. Like I say, the list for paracord is freaking endless. Hey, old folks. Let's see here. What else do they got up there? Now, one thing I do see up there that I would not recommend is those little string saws. The saw that you've got the key rings on the end of that you just pull back and forth. One, they don't work very well. Two, they break very easily. If a saw is something that you're going to put in your pack, I would recommend having just a foldable little hand saw. Hang on a second, I'll grab one.
Yeah, I have. I want to say my saw. I don't know if you can still hear me, Loki, but my saw is mixed in with like a shovel / hatchet thing. It's like a kind of all-in-one unit. It's not perfect at any one given thing, but it's decent for carrying. Like it serves its purpose, but it's not something I want long term.
Right. Well, and again with the two, one is none, two, or two is, yeah. How do you say that?
2 is one is none.
There you go. I say I have at least 2 or 3 knives with me, multi-tool, all kinds of stuff like that. I say so. Hang on, let me pull this down for a second. If this breaks, like I say, it's a very simple, not very sturdy, but it gets the job done. I can take down a 6-8 inch tree with this.
Hey, Marco.
But eventually, even something like this will either break or go so dull that it's not usable. So you gotta, like you say, you gotta have other alternatives to run with.
Yeah, I've had some success with those string saws, but that's not something like you were saying. Like you make a couple of cuts, and they're pretty much done deal. So like they're okay. They're okay to have in your kit, but I prefer a different method personally.
Yeah, like I say, just from personal experience in the past, using them out camping and one thing and another, they're not like I say, if it's what you got, hey, great, but find you a secondary method, a decent long knife, something like that. Hell, even a good old-fashioned K-bar will do you.
Jenny says she's got machetes and hatchets.
That's also very good. I say I had a hatchet in mine, but that's one of the things that apparently disappeared at some point.
You used it for throwing.
That well could be.
Jay, I don't carry a sharpening stone in my go bag, but like what Loki was saying, he carries a couple of knives. I'm the same way. I carry a couple different knives.
Yeah.
And this bag, they're generally only supposed to be enough supplies to get you through about 3-4 days at max.
Yeah.
So when it comes to other things, I have all that stuff. I have a sharpening stone, but not necessarily in my go bag.
Oh, I say I actually carry a sharpening stone with me pretty much at all times. If I have my wallet on me, I have a sharpening stone. Let me show that real quick. Oops. Believe it or not, that's a sharpening stone. I say it's just a little piece of steel embedded with diamond flakes. As you can see, it's quite well used. I have a fresh one that's in my go bag. I say, but it's not the best, but it'll do. Now, sharpening stones, it's not something that's really all that necessary. If you find the right type of rocks in the wild, you can sharpen whatever you want to. Or just a leather strap. A nice piece of long, flat leather, about 1 inch wide, you can sharpen up a knife with.
I think also too, you could fix your edge a little bit on one of your flint too. If you carried like that flat, if you carried that flat flint,
Yeah.
you would be able to. I mean, it wouldn't be perfect, but you could get an edge back on there with that.
Well, even those striker sticks would work. You just got to be a whole lot more careful about sharpening the blade, and hopefully you have some experience in sharpening.
Yeah, I think the dude. Yeah, because if I go out hiking, because I go out hiking, I pack differently for certain activities. But this is like, oh shit, things are going like. Somebody said, their getaway from a hurricane. So like if I had to get away from a hurricane bag, one of the things that I would have in there that I would not carry in my normal go bag would be like USB drives with like backed up all of my pictures and things. So like if my house gets destroyed, I would still have all that, like it would be some of the stuff I would have in there would be a little bit different than I need to run out into the woods for a few days.
Yeah. I say, I'm the same way with that, dude. Like you say, it's the hunting backpack is basically my go bag. That comes with me even when I go out hunting. So, same kind of idea.
and then we could on a future show talk about more about like actual prepping, because they say for things you need around your house you need like a 6-month supply of food for every member of your house, things like that. So that would be a different. We'll dive into that a different day. I will say the couple things on here that I wouldn't carry with me personally was I wouldn't carry the radio, and I wouldn't carry that little solar panel thing.
No.
Like I get you could use that to charge your phone, but if I'm having to get out of there, I'm probably just going to let my phone die anyways.
Yeah. I mean, an extra battery for the phone or something like that, and if the solar panel is small and light enough, sure. But that's not a priority for me either.
So that would just be one of those things I wouldn't necessarily put in my go bag. I see why people would, and like I said, the way you would, Loki, the way you would prep your bag would be a little, because I'm more of an urban environment, so I would prep my bag a little differently than yours. And I think one of these days we should, once we put our bags back together, come out and actually compare yours to mine.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, I say it might seem a little odd, but one of the things I used to keep in my kit when I lived over in Washington was actually a small multi-tool kit. I say it was relatively heavy, but I found a couple that were compact enough with enough various tools in it that I could do most general repairs on a vehicle if I needed to. Swap out fuel lines, this, that, the other, whatever.
One of the things for me out in Washington that I wasn't as concerned about as I am out here is water is plentiful in Washington. Mm. And so I never worried that much about water in the Pacific Northwest, but out here I definitely do.
Yeah. Well, as in, you would think that water is very plentiful up where I am in Montana, but outside of streams and creeks, it's not really, especially if you get out into the plains. So like I say, if I know I'm going to be going into the plains, a couple extra packs of or bottles of water, something like that, go into the bag. If I know I'm going into the mountains, I'm not going to be worried about it other than purification tablets, and even then, I'm not going to need that most of the time.
Yeah, for me, it would just be a way to, like in the Northwest, it was a container that I can boil. Yeah. I know water was very plentiful. And there's a ton of streams. Like if you know your environment, if you could drink straight from it, but I would never recommend that unless you're in an emergency situation.
Oh, I said, yeah, Jay, I do get that. Personally, I used to have a little tiny radio, kind of like the little blue one that they've got in the center of the screen there, that I would keep with me. But it was oh man, it was a Russian-made radio. Thankfully, it was labeled in English, not Cyrillic. Uh, but it had a little wind-up on it. I say so. Batteries weren't even a concern for that.
Yeah, it looks like that one. That looks like one of those emergency radios that's got
Little
that
wind
setup on it. Yeah.
Problem.
The other thing in this kit that I wouldn't carry with me is I wouldn't carry the binoculars. Trying to look at some of the other things in the kit.
In the urban environment, probably not so much. Out where I am, I do have a small set of binoculars. They're not the greatest, but it's handy to have in a mountain situation.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, like if you're in the chat and you've never had a go bag or you want to create one, you can go on Amazon and buy a completed bag. However, I recommend that you just buy a backpack and just start buying supplies here and there that are more suited to you. Because those catch-all bags, they're okay.
Yeah, I say I was actually looking at some of those earlier today. One I was looking at that I thought was pretty decent was about $300, which isn't too bad, but I can build my kit for about half of that.
Yeah, and can't remember. It didn't cost me that much to build my bag. Hey, Blue. But a lot of the expensive stuff that I have in my bag, it was stuff that I already had. Like my knives and my like I have the multi-tool shovel, saw.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff I already owned. Freaking Blue is here.
Freaking Blue. Hey, Meg. Oh,
sure. Stark Attack is here. Hey, Spencer, good to see you again.
What's up, Spence? Saying, yeah, most people wouldn't think that those little survival shovels are all that useful. But, man, there's been a number of times, even just out camping, that being able to dig into the side of a hill for just to level it out for your tent or whatever, or tarp, or the floor of your lean-to, whatever, can be very handy. That, and hey, doubles as another weapon.
Yeah. The other thing too, I know that I had talked to my friend about it, is when you do create this bag, test out all your stuff when there's no need for it.
Exactly.
Test out don't use your life straw if that's what you're putting in there, because I think after it's been used you only get a certain amount of time. So don't test out your life straw or buy a spare one, test it, but like all your equipment that you have in there, test it, see how it works, see how you function with it. You might find something that works better, or you just don't like that particular setup.
Yeah. I say, well, perfect example of that is I had bought a survival shovel that had a little multi-tool wrench type thing and a few other things on it, saw blade, this, that, and the other, and it looked great in the store. I said, but when I broke it out the first time out in the hills to actually use it, the damn thing snapped in half on me and within like 5 minutes. So
yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, the dude said he agrees, make your own. Like I said, if you just want to get started, you can buy one of those, because they have go bags on Amazon for like, you can get one for like 50, $60 all the way up to like 1,000.
Oh yeah.
But even those $1,000 kits, there's tools in it and things that you're paying premium prices for that may or may not use.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the smaller bag, usually like the main thing you'll get on those lower end bags is you'll get the first aid kit usually is pretty solid. Yeah, I'm interested to hear JR Colts. I'll send you that link in about 10 minutes, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed the same thing.
And then he also said, and this probably would go for you too. I don't know if you caught his comment earlier. He doesn't carry binoculars on him because his 2A usually has something.
Some kind of a sight or whatever on there.
Yeah.
That's good. I say, but you never know. You could smack up against a tree, and your sights or your optics are trashed. Oh, I said, but yeah, definitely especially if you're going into the hills with some kind of a rifle or something like that has an optic on it, that is a big bonus in my opinion. Oh, let's see. So I got that. Hang on a second. Let's bring this one up. So this is just kind of a generic list. It's not one that I've really vetted out or anything like that. I just grabbed it for the for basically a visual to give people a basic idea of things that you put together a list of things that you think you would need, and it's real easy to build a bag out of something like this.
Yeah, because you can go through this like checklist, and it doesn't mean you have to hit every box, but it kind of will point you in the right direction of things that you'll need / want.
Yeah.
For this, I know you said earlier. Well, not in this live, but me and you were talking. One of the things you carry is 4 MREs.
Mm-hmm.
And those that may not know about MREs, one MRE is all of the calories that your body actually needs for the day. So that technically will give you 4 days of food. Now you'll still be hungry, but it will give you enough for four straight days. I have freeze dry food that requires me to heat up water or other things, and mine is for weight. Really, like I would rather carry a couple of MREs, but I went the route I did for weight reasons.
Yeah, well, I say honestly, I'd kind of prefer the freeze dried stuff myself. I just haven't had the spare cash to order in a box of the stuff. Say, but the freeze dried stuff lasts a whole lot longer. I mean, the MREs I got probably need replaced at this point, honestly, because they're well over 5 years old. Which
we should do. We should do a show where me and you eat one of those disgusting things. Send me one. I'll eat one of those disgusting MREs with you.
Oh, I say, and the most of the MREs, the ones I've got in particular, come with the little heater pouches and whatnot. So I don't even need a fire. I can literally sit down someplace. As long as I've got pure water, I can have dinner.
Yep, I've being that I was in the military, I ate quite a few of those MREs. Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Jacksonville Joe in the house.
Duvet.
Yeah, duvet.
Oh.
And then over time, as you develop your bag, like J.R. Colt said, he has three separate bags. So he has one for different scenarios. But if you don't have one, just grab a backpack and just start, you can grab this list, and every time you go grocery shopping, just grab one or two things that you can do. And then, like Loki was saying, you can use dryer lint and some other things for fire. So some of the stuff doesn't cost money, doesn't add weight, and you can start putting together something for yourself.
Seagull, that is probably the worst go bag that you can possibly make. A bottle of tequila.
That go bag's good for San Francisco. You just grab that go bag and go sit down on the sidewalk anywhere, and you're good to go.
Jay down there taking offense to our MRE comments.
I don't know if Jay had to eat those things for like 6 months straight, but I have a serious dislike for him.
Amos, what's up, brother?
What up, Moses?
Oh, man.
All right. I'll go ahead and send that link out.
All right. You want me to, or? As I know I've got a little bit easier access to it.
Yeah, I got it. No problem.
Okay. Now, one thing that I would say that every go bag should have an abundance of, and it's stupid simple, hardly any weight to it, but it's handy in so many different situations. Basic little sealed alcohol wipe pads, like you get to, clean your hands off at various restaurants or for medical reasons. I don't personally use them for cleaning my hands. Little dirt don't bother me. But they're handy to sterilize things if you need to. Say you got a big ass splinter in your damn hand, you have to dig the damn thing out with your knife. You can sterilize both the blade and your hand with that alcohol wipe.
Hey, Miss Luck.
Hey, Miss Luck. In a pinch, you can also use them as fire starter. Oh. What's up, Cole?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
No, pretty good.
What's up, man? It was funny. We talked behind the scenes. We're like, this is going to be.
Second eye echoing.
We talked behind the scenes before we got started, and we're like, we're pretty sure this is a topic that JR is going to want to come talk to us about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I have like for me, I have 3 bags, and yes, some stuff is quite a bit of stuff is duplicated in each bag, but each bag is set for separate things that are going to happen or separate things that could happen, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
Well,
so I carry, like, similar to you, Loki, I carry like Clorox wipes, and I can, with the medical kits I carry, I can almost perform surgery on somebody if I actually had to.
Nice.
Not that I can or know how to, but I can. I can suture somebody or something like that. I have sutures, everything like that. And because I'm a machinist, I do have, access to magnesium. So I'll shave like magnesium bar, and then I'll put it into like a larger pill jar with dryer lint, and then dryer lint that's soaked in candle wax, matches, and one of those little mini cigarette lighters. So, and I have a flint too that I carry that's in all my bags. So I have an abundance of ways of starting fire. And not Loki like you, I can start fire without any of those. If I got to rub sticks together or a paracord and make a bow and get to it, I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say, like Mike was saying, two is one is none.
Yes. And it, like with mine, depending on what's happening, is depending on which one I'm grabbing, because some have more stuff access for water stuff and some have less.
Right.
So
yeah. Yep.
Hey, 420 Network.
Also, so when I go hunting or I'm going, hiking or anything like that, I will grab one of my go bags and just carry it. And I actually do it when I walk my dogs as well.
Oh,
and I'll just throw my go bag on. My heavy one is probably about 65 pounds.
Gotcha.
This is helping condition your body if you have to bug out.
Yep. So, I mean, if it comes that I'm walking or I got to steal a bicycle or anything, I know that 65 pounds that's on my back, not including my longer 2A that I have with me, you know what I mean? I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm physically able to do it.
Oh, no, that's a great idea. Hey, Maria.
Fuck, I'm 50. I'm old now.
Right.
Shut up, Mike.
You want to be a part of the Eat the Old MRE show with us?
I've eaten them a bunch, so I mean, I will. I don't care for them as long as it's not the mac and cheese one. Oh, fuck me. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to cuss, but wow.
There's a couple of them that I won't eat, so I'll have to make sure.
The mac and cheese one, oh my God, that is just disgusting. I'd almost rather eat sandalwood. I carry smoked, so I have smoked meat in almost all my bags ready to go, and I rotate it out about every 6 months.
Smart.
That's a very good idea, actually.
Oh, yeah. So about every 6 months, I'll grab the meat out of my bags, and then I'll just eat it, and then I'll just replace it. So, and what a lot of people, so if you do carry a long 2A with a scope on it, you can spin the back of the scope off of it, and it's a magnifying glass. That's also another way to start fire as long as the sun's out.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's just a lot of shit that people don't think of. And, you know, no matter what, in all my bags, there's 2 ways to boil water. So whether it's just a freaking one of those little, what are they? I don't remember what's in them. It's like rubbing alcohol they use it to heat up like dishes and stuff, or those tinfoil pans at cookouts and stuff.
Oh, like the kerosene, like the little kerosene.
Yeah, I have those in my bags, and, you know, a big metal cup that basically has a little thing on it that sits right on top of them. Yeah. Because honestly, it's the best way and one of the easiest ways. And if you're using one of those, that flame is blue. Nobody's going to see it from any kind of distance away compared to if you have a big fire going.
Right.
Victoria, I can guarantee you Rilla and Menace will not do the MRE stuff with us.
No, probably not.
Rilla in particular, I would say, is going to opt out of that one if he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not good.
They're not good.
No, and I don't think they're made to be good. They're just made for calories.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a couple, like I've had a couple that were okay. I think the jambalaya one was pretty decent, but
the beef stroganoff one is remarkably not that bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, beef stroganoff's hard to screw up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it is. If you've got pepper with you, you're good. And I have seeds in a couple of my bags as well, just in case it is something that's going to be extended. And if it is going to be something extended, then you know what I mean. I'm going to be all right anyway. I'm going to be in the woods by the time anybody gets close to me. So good luck.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I keep in my go bag that, you know, a lot of people, like I keep some currency, so it's not up there on the list more than likely, but I keep, you know, some American dollars. I'm not going to say the amount, but I also carry silver with me.
Me too.
So couple ounces of silver, throw in your bag.
Yeah,
you may need it for horse trading or something.
Coins. Old gold and silver coins I have them in each one of my bags, and that's all 3. So just in case, and not to mention, you know, ammunition and stuff like that can also be traded. And, you know, not for nothing, but if it's an all hell breaks loose situation, don't worry about stealing shit from people. If there's when it comes to and there's nobody in it, go look.
Yeah.
Yep. When it comes to like preparing, we'll have to do a whole nother show on that.
Oh yeah. Because I prep too. So because I have the buckets of freeze dried food and stuff like that too. So if I'm stuck and I can't leave, I'm probably I would say 5 months with just meat and freeze dried food just for me. So, and that's without me having to actually leave and go find stuff.
Right.
Right.
So, and believe me, if it was something like that, I'm going to go out and I'm going to gather as much supplies as I possibly can. I'm not staying in one spot.
No, generally not.
No, and I know how to, if push comes to shove, I know a lot about cars, and if I had to, I'm sorry, but if you have an older car, I'm stealing it.
Well, and that's one of the things I'll talk about in the show. We talk about like being prepared because my gun safe is essentially a Faraday box, and I definitely have spare ECUs.
Yes.
But the problem with that, if everybody's car goes down and your car works, you're a big target. So
yeah, well, that's when you start looking for cars that have like old cars that just have a solenoid instead of an ECU, and then or points cars and stuff like that. Or there's a place not far from my house that's got old Hummers and stuff, and hate to say,
I can just walk right out.
Guard them all.
I can just walk right out in my Carhole and hop into any of those vehicles.
Yeah, and if it, you know what I mean, even if you've got to jump it because it cooked that solenoid. You can jump the solenoid out and you're good.
Yep.
So, yeah, and it's stuff that people can learn, honestly, and a lot of it is people can learn off the internet if they haven't, you know what I mean, if they didn't grow up that way. I mean, I grew up on a farm. I learned how to fix stuff and how to build stuff and make stuff. So if it's stuff that people, have not all that much, you can go online and you can watch, and it's pretty easy to find stuff about how to, jump a solenoid on an old vehicle or something like that. And I don't care if I was taking an old camper. If I could get it running, I'm taking it.
Yeah, the ECU is the computer for your car. So when I was referring to that is if we get hit with an EMP, it'll fry all the computers in an area. And so if you keep a spare, like, let's say you have a Honda Accord, go to the junkyard, grab an ECU out of the same car, and just throw it in a Faraday box or bag.
Yep.
And if you ever get hit with an EMP, you can now transfer that one that was safe into the car that fried, because the one in your car will have fried.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And even people don't. Some people don't realize. Like, I don't know if anybody does anything with like lithium-ion batteries. You're supposed to keep them in a battery bag, and it's a lined bag. It's actually a Faraday cage as well, and they actually work pretty well, from what I understand. And I have a few of those because I have RC cars, and I keep some extra stuff that in case all hell breaks loose that I can put in there.
Yeah.
You know, another fun thing for the three of us to do, since you're into this. What's up, Chevy for Life?
Hey, Ford, how you doing, man?
Chevy for Life in the house.
Yeah, I'm picking on him about that too.
What we should do is the three of us, we should say take $100 and see what kind of a bag we can put together and challenge each other.
Absolutely.
I know Loki doesn't have the same access to things, but he's got access to other things that we don't have access to. So it would be really interesting to see what we all three come up with on a very minimal budget.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So that would not include a 2A if we're doing $100.
No.
Yeah. Well, you could get a high point.
Oh yeah. No. I'd rather steal somebody else's gun if I needed to. I'll wait till you're sleeping and I'll sneak up and snatch your gun if I had to.
Man. A couple of years ago, I did some work for a guy on his vehicle, and that was his payment. He gave me a high point. I think I fired 30 rounds through it, and then that thing just fell apart, and I threw it away.
Yeah. I get people bringing to me all the time and ask me if I can fix it for them, and I say, usually not. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, it's not working. Yeah, because you should have bought something that was, more than $250.
Oh man.
I say, in all reality these days, I mean, Colt could speak to this better than I can, but you can get a decent handheld pew pew for
$350. Yeah, $300, $350. So that's more than capable and will frickin' last forever.
Yeah. So don't get
I I think I bought my M&P for like 400, maybe 420. Can't remember exactly. It wasn't
like, I still have
super
Gen 1
expensive
for sale because Smith had never sold out of the Gen 1 shields. So I bought a bunch of them. I still got brand new Gen 1s for sale for $325 out the door before they went to the 2.0 version.
I had a Gen 1. The only thing I didn't like was it felt like there was a double reset in the trigger, and that it affected my marksmanship in it. So I got rid of that. I got rid of that gun because of that. I know you could change out the trigger, but I just hated that. So I went with the newer version.
Yeah. And now they got the Plus, which carries double. So that's even better for like the 9mm version anyway. And that, I mean, you got to think about, so if that is an option for you to 2A your way into things, or if that's going to be a part of it, you have to consider what's going to be available to you in case you run out. And if you're carrying, a 44, good luck. It's not going to be something that's going to be easily found. But if you're 9mm or 40 or 45, that's going to be something that's going to be a little bit easier to find. Or 5.56, 223.
I say definitely when you're considering 2As for survival, look at the most common rounds.
Absolutely.
Like you say, 7.62, 5.56, 45, 9.
40 even, because a lot of the police departments, that's what they carry is 40. And I know a lot of the guys, they pocket thousands of rounds a year. So
and Jay asked if we all keep duct tape in our bags.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Like thing of Gorilla Tape.
Really?
What I carry mine a little different on mine. I have like a Nalgene bottle. Okay. And I've wrapped my Nalgene bottle in duct tape, so it's not taking up any additional space. Yeah. It's just on.
Mine hangs off my bag, so mine's in a Ziploc bag, or it's not a Ziploc bag, but it's a watertight bag that it's hanging like off the side of my bag, but I do have a roll on each bag.
Jackass! Well, I didn't see them pull in.
Oh, Loki's dealing with neighbors.
Oh, I just heard he's got a donkey.
Yeah, he's dealing with neighbors. But yeah, like for me, I carry duct tape. The thing I find the most useful is my 550 cord. I keep quite a bit at 550, probably a lot more than I need for my go bag, but I carry quite a bit of 550 cord. I have maybe 50 feet of duct tape, if that, but.
So I have paracord as well, and a lot of people don't know that you can strip paracord, uses the center of the cord for fishing line. So I have fish hooks in my go bags, everything like that, in case. And if you can't find a worm out in the woods or where you're, stop looking. Just give up.
Well, there's a really easy way to get worms almost anywhere. You drive a stake into the ground, and then you just hit that stake that you drove into the ground, like a wooden stake. You just hit it with something, and the worms will start coming up. The vibrations will bring them up out of the ground.
Yep, because they can't handle it.
Yep. So that's the easy way. If you need, you're not going to just necessarily find them laying all over the ground, but
you can dig them out from underneath freaking rocks and wherever else. If you're near water, you're going to find worms. You're going to find bugs.
Oh yeah. And just about any bug will do for fishing.
And I don't care at that point. I mean, if that's what you're doing, I don't care what kind of fish I catch. I'm eating it.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if it's carp. I don't care what it is. I'm eating it.
Yes. The size limit goes out the door.
You ain't lying.
Survival conditions.
I'd eat minnows if I had to. I don't care.
That's all I can catch. You damn skippy.
Absolutely. So with me being by the Great Lakes or so close to the Great Lakes, like my one bag, I have a cast net in my one bag. It's a small little 5-foot cast net, but yes, I still have a cast net in my one bag, and it is heavy, but it does. You know what I mean? If I need it, I need it.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Well, so we'll have to set up a future show just for setting up a cheap go bag and I'm definitely planning a show in the future about like house preps.
Yeah, are your guys both backpack style go bags or over your shoulder?
Yeah, mine's a backpack style. I used a Blackhawk bag that I was issued in the military for mine.
Okay.
My wife's go bag is just a JanSport backpack she used in high school.
Yeah, I've got one. The one I use is actually an old ski bag, and because of the rigid frame in that thing's actually fantastic. And that thing can hold like 270 pounds if you really wanted to. You could almost put a person in that thing if you wanted to open it up all the way. I don't think I ever would, but you could.
Right.
I mean, it's big enough that if you get stuck in the snow, you can crawl in it. So empty everything out and get in it if you needed to. So it's almost like stuff yourself in the snow situation, which I don't really want to do because I don't like the cold that much.
Also, you said earlier that you deal with you have a lot of spare magnesium.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind if you want to send me a small amount of that to throw in mine.
No, not at all. I care. Like I said, I have it in little pill jars and stuff like that, and it's stuff that I've just machined off of stuff because I make some magnesium parts for separate things, and I just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely add that because the magnesium that I have is just in the flint, so like I scrape off the magnesium.
Yeah, see, so it's thin shavings from a end mill, so a lot of people don't know magnesium, lights better if it's wet, if you get it wet a little bit. So even if you've got to spit on it, and then put it on whatever your tinder or whatever you're going to do, and then light it, and it'll catch faster if you get a little bit of water on it.
One of the things I carried with me in the Northwest, I don't really out here, but I used to carry just a small amount of used motor oil.
Yeah.
Because you could get a fire going in a torrential downpour.
Yeah.
If you saturated whatever you needed with motor oil.
Yeah, like dryer lint or whatever. The piece of your shirt, your underwear, doesn't matter. At that point, everything's fair game.
Yep. What I particularly like about the motor oil is it burns really slow, so it gives you time to get the fire going.
Yeah, and that's why I like the dryer lint soaked in candle wax, because it'll go, and it goes for quite a long time. It doesn't burn super hot, but it goes for a long time. So if you've got like the dryer lint soaked in wax and you've got a little bit of magnesium, you've got a fire hot enough that you can almost get wet wood going.
Yeah.
So but I mean, food and water are going to be your biggest, no matter what. It's going to be your biggest setback, no matter what. Because water is usually going to be the heaviest thing. If you're carrying water, it's going to be the heaviest thing you've got.
Yeah.
Especially because people, you've got, max 3 days without water and you're dead.
Yeah, they say the rule of three. The rule, when you're setting your stuff up, the rule of three. Yep. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 months without food.
Yeah.
So like if you're prepping, food shouldn't be as important as water. And then depending on the type of attack you're preparing for, you may need a gas mask.
Yeah.
So.
And I have one good one. I only have one that's a really good one, and then the other ones. I also have the iodine pills as well. I've tried, and I've tried it after you put them in water and then tried to drink that water.
Oh, it's horrible, but
it sure is. I'd rather just cook the water. It'd be better. But if I have to take those pills because something else has happened, then you know what? I'm taking those pills.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They're not going to save you, but they will stop you from getting sick.
The other thing that you can take for water purification and for your stomach is just some charcoal, but you don't necessarily have to carry it with you. If you're starting a fire, you can pull some coals out and you can make your own. So it's not necessarily something you have to carry with you, but that will also sanitize your water and help your stomach. So
yeah, as long as you can get something to drink through it, even if it's just a regular straw.
So, hey, Rip it.
Hey, Rip.
Hey, everybody. I can't see the chat, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
We're getting we're getting at our hour mark anyways. We're trying to keep these shows at an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys letting me come up. Absolutely. I mean, especially getting into this stuff
Oh yeah. Well, you definitely get something like this. You're definitely somebody that we want.
I believe that offer stands if you want the shop at yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, come by it so I can get out of freaking up north and get back down south.
We have a couple of other interesting shows we're working on. We're going to start talking about the food industry.
Okay.
We'll probably do another. We talked about maybe doing another one of these tomorrow. So me and Loki will talk behind the scenes about preparing something for potentially tomorrow.
Okay.
But we're trying to keep these at an hour, and I think going forward, we'll always, if you want to come up, we'll always invite you up for the last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's something I'm into. If it's something I'm not into or something that I don't really have any knowledge on, I'll absolutely let you know I don't know shit about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come up here and actually talk about something that I don't know anything about. Like the shovels that you guys were talking about. So I have 3 of them, and I bought them years ago at a gun and knife show, and they were Army issue for Vietnam. And they have a saw on one side, a hatchet on the other side, and they're a shovel. They're collapsible. And those little things are freaking incredible. I used to carry one in my car in the wintertime in case I got stuck in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an amazing tool to carry because each individual tool is not great in itself, but it's a very versatile tool.
Yeah. Digging a hole, cutting a tree down, sawing a tree down, hitting somebody in the face if you had to. Cooking on it. Also, you can use it if you need to. If you don't have a dry surface, you can use that shovel head as a because it's all steel, you can use the shovel head as something dry to at least start your fire on.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to keep them at. We're going to try to keep them at an hour, the dude, but we may expand to how many we do a week. We didn't really realize that people would be kind of interested in just Mike and Loki bullshitting about random shit that we're interested in.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, eventually on some subjects, we may go with a longer show, a couple hours or whatever, something like that. But yeah, the plan for now was to keep it around an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we're going to dive into 9/11 at some point, and that's going to be probably several shows.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be able to. Some of these shows that we'll do are not going to be able to do in an hour, and some of them we may not even be able to do in 8 hours.
Yeah, or some of them you're not going to be able to even do on YouTube because you're going to get bounced. So if you start getting into the 9/11 stuff and you start getting deep into it, they're going to bounce you.
Well, it's like our last show when we started getting those bots.
Bots coming in.
Yeah, we knew we were touching a subject that they didn't want us talking about.
But it was messed up because nothing happened until somebody started mentioning names. As soon as names started coming up, that's when hey, you're not supposed to talk about that. Let's talk about this.
Yep.
So yeah, it didn't happen until you started bringing up names and stuff, and then that's when they come flowing in. If you go back and watch the replay of that, because I recorded it, so it's odd.
Yeah, it was the first time I had experienced it. I know other people have experienced it in the past, but for me, that was the first, and it was like, okay, man.
Yeah.
So, and then to answer the dude, Loki and I are working on setting up a channel just for this. So if we hit a certain subject that they want to burn our channel down, we'll burn that other channel down, not Loki 13 and Mike's Carhole.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it's something I'm into or anything like that, absolutely, I'll be more than honored to come up here with you guys.
No, appreciate it very much, man. Very much.
Oh. Sorry, I can't see the chat, guys. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
I got it, and I'm running. If I would have thought a little bit more ahead, I'm running an update on my computer because I'm in my office at work, so I wouldn't have run the update right now. But it's trying to update Windows 11, and it's been taking about 30 minutes so far. So.
And so that tells me that there's some coming for me here in the next 24 hours.
Well, for mine, it's because it updates my whole network at the same time. It's not just my PC at my desk. It updates everything else in the shop. So right now, all our computers are down because, when it's running is a cash register.
Yeah.
So nobody else can do anything right now anyway. So if I have anybody that does come in or that had come in, before 6 looking for a firearm, I'll have to do that tomorrow because I can't do it today because I already started the background check or the updates, and I can't run a background check. It's not often I have anybody walk in right at 6.
Hey, old man, girl, caught us right at the end. We're heading out the door, and you're ready for our next one.
Yeah, I appreciate it again, you guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, not a problem, JR. I appreciate having you up.
Absolutely.
Rip it said, "Hey, JR."
Nope.
He wanted me to tell you that.
Back in my pocket, but he's in the chat. All right, Loki, you ready to send us out, buddy?
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm a boogie. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate
you guys. Get me on IG and let me know, what's next. And if I have anything, I'll happily come up and talk about it if I have any interest or if I have any knowledge of it.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
I send you guys enough shit on IG anyway. You guys probably know everything I'm into.
Oh, you've given me a lot of ideas.
Yeah, probably too much. If it starts to get too much, tell me cool it.
That's not a thing.
Never too much.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Have a good one.
Yep. Bye.
All right. And we probably will cover more on the survival kits or the, go bags and whatnot down the road, like we were saying. But I say for today, I hope we gave you guys at least a decent outline of what you might need. But we'll definitely try to touch on it a little more in the future.
Yeah, I think just a comparison. We'll do a cheap go bag build and then maybe give them away, or at least I'll give mine away. I'm not going to say everybody else has to, but do a cheap go bag build between 3 of us. See what we come up with, and I'll give mine to somebody in the chat that day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could probably do that myself. Yeah. Oh, but alrighty. Appreciate everybody coming out and watching us talk about our crazy crap, and
we appreciate every last one of you came in and interacted with us, and we wouldn't be doing this without you guys, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, most definitely, and I also appreciate a lot of the feedback we were getting in the chat today. There were some ideas there that I hadn't even thought of before.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate every last one of you, and we'll see you in the next one. Maybe tomorrow. Keep a lookout.
Yep. But already for today, Mike and Loki out. Have a good one.
Moist.